with the weather, I guess. I don't know what's going on.
Not a problem. So it looks like we're on. Is that right? Yeah.
We are on,
Right.
recording has started.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to the Sheriff's Office Advisory and Review Board meeting for January 2026. In some ways, hard to believe we're already at the new year. 5 years this board has been in existence, and
Almost, not quite.
and many of you have been on the board since its inception. So anyways, we've come a long ways, but welcome. Look forward to a good new year with all of you. And it looks like we do have a quorum, so I will ask Angela to call the roll.
Okay. Chair Ray,
Present?
William Walker. Present?
Present.
Okay. Natalie? Present. Mr. Stewart?
Here, Mayo.
Dr. Layden?
Present.
Debbie Strongen is absent. Elena is absent. And Mr. Wismer.
Here.
Okay.
All right. Well, it does look like we have a quorum, so appreciate everybody showing up. And we don't have a really big agenda today, but we'll kind of get through it. So first up is consent agenda item number 3, just approval of minutes from December 12th. Those went out a few weeks ago. Any questions, comments, concerns, suggested changes to the minutes? Nope. Entertain a motion to adopt.
I shall move.
All right, Dr. Lade moves to adopt the minutes, seconded by Ms. Mason. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion passes. Minutes are adopted. Thank you very much. Item number 4 on the agenda, Sheriff's Office comment. Does not appear we have anybody representative from the Sheriff's Office, either in person or online. And on to public comment. Item number 5. Doesn't appear we have anybody present in person, nor anybody
No one
online. Anybody submit anything via email or that
Nope.
we're aware of to the county? So no
Not
public
present.
comments to be made at this meeting. All right, well, then we're just moving right along. So item number 6 is required of us to elect a chair and a vice chair. Per the ordinance, and I'll just read from the ordinance, a section of it says annually at the first meeting of the calendar year, the board shall elect a chair and vice chair. And so this is the first meeting, obviously, of 2026. So per the ordinance, the board needs to elect a chair and a vice chair. And so we're going to do that now. And what I've done is the current chair is I've asked Mr. Wismer to coordinate and chair the meeting. And how do you coordinate the elections on our behalf? And so with that, I will turn it over to Mr. Wismer to conduct the elections for chair and vice chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Since the Electoral College is absent, I'm going to do this fairly simply. I asked for nominations and a second for each position. What I would like to do, Angela, if it's okay with you, is a roll call vote on each position. That way we have it accurately recorded what everyone's desires are. So I'll start it off very simply with the election of the chair. Are there nominations for chair? Yes, I will nominate the incumbent. Mr. Stewart has nominated the incumbent chair, Matt Ray. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that Mr. Ray continue as chair. Is there any comments from anyone? Hearing none. Angela, would you call the roll, please?
There any other nominations? Anybody else, any other nominations or anybody?
Are there any
desire
other
to run?
nominations?
Okay. Matthew?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, by acclamation.
Natalie?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Aye.
Dr. Layden?
Yes.
That's not here. And Mr. Wismer?
Yes. Okay, our chair
Thank you.
will we have continuity of leadership for the next year. Thank you. And
Yep.
now for the nominations for vice chair. Is there a nomination?
I'd like to nominate Mr. Stewart.
Mr. Stewart's been nominated as vice chair. Is there a second?
I'd second that.
Okay. Been seconded by Natalie. Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Are there any comments by the candidates? Candidate?
No, sir.
Okay.
Chair Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
Natalie Ann Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Stewart,
Aye.
Diane Layden,
Yes.
and Mr. Wismer.
Yes.
So now this is predicated on my living through the next year, so.
Well,
You will.
we have complete faith and confidence that you will uphold the duties and responsibilities of the office for a full year. And
So
thank you,
help
everyone.
you God. Literally, so help you God, preparing for you.
Go with you.
You're gonna have to stick around.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Wismer, for conducting those elections. Thank you to fellow members of the board for your continuing confidence and my ability to chair this board. And I make the same commitment I did last year when I was elected. You know, I'm just one member of the board, just sort of coordinating. But I value each and every one of you, and I will endeavor to do my best to make sure everybody has an equal say and a role and a function on this board, and will be as transparent and cooperative as possible going forward. So with that, if you have, you know, questions, comments, concerns, I know some of you have reached out in the last year, just different things, suggestions or ideas. I'm open to it. So by all means, let me know, and I'm happy to have those conversations, you know, either one-on-one or, you know, if you want to bring it up in the board.
Did you say you're willing to have one-on-one conversations?
Yes, I have had conversations in the
Well,
past.
then I'll
yes.
be in touch. I asked for that last year and wasn't successful.
Okay, so
Thank you.
we can talk. And anyway, so thank you very much. Mr. Stewart, do you have any opening comments as
I
the
don't.
newly elected
I know. It's great.
vice chair?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your willingness to serve in that capacity, and I look forward to working with you on that. And I think all of us are a little bit saddened by Ms. Strongen's, you know, departure from the board, and obviously, you know, her contributions as the vice chair the last, you know, several years, really since the inception of this board. And so she's going to be dearly missed. So you've got big shoes to fill, I would say, Mr. Stewart. But I'm confident you'll be able to
I'm gonna get started on their annual.
get started on that. Yeah, exactly. All right, well, that's all I have for introductory stuff on item 7. So let's move on to that was item 6, item number 7 for new business. And for this one, we'll turn over to Angela and Jennifer's introductions.
So it's official, as of this meeting, Jennifer will be your new liaison.
I do really exist.
She does, right? We kept having to postpone that for a bit, but I'll let Jennifer introduce herself and what she's currently doing and some of her history, her work history.
Okay, not putting me on the spot, but so my name is Jennifer Barthoff. Originally I did 20 plus years in the medical field and changed my mind after COVID. Decided to try something new and was hired on through Bernalillo County into the HR department, which I did for the last 2 years and wanted to continue growing within the county. So saw that there was an executive assistant position available to our DCM Perez over public safety,
Oh, excellent.
and interviewed and was offered the position and have been in it for couple of months, but I was doing dual roles, so I haven't really been able to jump into that primary role until this past few weeks. So I'm currently learning that role and learning everything that goes with it. I have a lot of knowledge outside of the county that I bring and the knowledge that I've gained while being a county employee. I have wonderful teachers throughout everywhere in the county. Angela's amazing. And I was told I was going to be taking on her role in this committee, and I am honored. I think it's a very wonderful role. A little bit about me, my brother was BCSO for 20 years and then retired, so.
John Bartoff?
Yes.
I was wondering if you're
Yes.
related to him.
I am
Okay, he's your brother.
I'm his older sister.
Okay.
So Sheriff's Department holds dear to my heart. So it is an honor to be here with all of you, and I hope to do as well as she has been done.
Jennifer, is
Yes,
your
ma'am.
email address J Bartoff?
It's Jen Barthoff. Yes, my
Jen?
brother had Jay Barthoff, so they couldn't give that to
Jan?
Jen.
Jen,
Yes, ma'am.
BARTOLF.
Yes, ma'am. At burnco.gov.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, Jen, I'd like to welcome you to this board. I've been on it for since inception, and I think you enjoy it.
Thank you.
And speaking of that, I have another appointment, so this is my last meeting. I want to thank everyone for, I enjoyed working with this board for the last 5 years, so thank you very much. Unfortunately, I have an appointment at the VA Center that I have to get to, so I'm going to be leaving. I don't think you have anything else to vote on today.
No, I don't believe so.
So.
You're not,
Thank you. So this is it for you?
you're supposed to stay on till a replacement is appointed. It's okay, but I just saying,
I heard that. Sometimes life gets in the way.
I understand. Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you very much.
Thank
Nice to
you.
meet you.
Thank you for all you've done for us.
Sure.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Wismer. Sorry I know you had another appointment and, but anyways, before you go, thank you so much for your continued service on this board and all your contributions. You're gonna be totally missed. So best of luck. If you have anything, let us know, and we might be pinging you for picking your brain down the road with your,
You never know, I might
Historical
show
knowledge.
up for a meeting.
you might show up. Yeah, we would welcome you. Give public comment. Well, thank you, Jennifer. We're really happy to have you. Look forward to working with you, and we think you'll find the board pretty lively and entertaining. I think we're pretty easygoing. Hopefully Angela will probably tell you otherwise.
They are.
Natalie's agreeing, so.
Yeah, so anyways, we're really thrilled. We couldn't really operate or function as a board without the support from the county and specifically the liaison position that, I mean, obviously, as you know, you do so much. Or will do so much, as you will find out, right? There's all the behind the scenes and the coordination to make the meetings happen and everything else. And so we really couldn't function without, so we're really grateful. So please pass those remarks up through your supervisors and let them know that we're appreciative of the continued support that we get from your office. And
Of course. If I
so
make any mistakes, I apologize in advance as I'm learning.
same here. We're all human, and that's the way it
We'll
goes.
laugh
So
at it
it's-
together and move
Yeah.
on.
I think one of the things, and the other, I'll let the other members, make any comments or welcome comments they want, but many of them been on longer than I have, these two particularly, but my experience has been, it's been pretty low key. I mean, we're not, super formal. It's, very cordial. People get along really well. And so I think it's, for the most part, sometimes we have some dicey topics that come up, but that's kind of few and far between. For the most part, it's been a pretty, pretty enjoyable experience, at least for me. So I hope that's the same, and welcome you to the team.
Thank
Any other members want to make any comments or have any questions for Ms. Bartow?
If I may,
Yes, sir.
Jennifer, we really look to you to keep us on track with regards to Burnco writ large and the politics and the governance and all that. So don't be reluctant to speak up and say, if y'all consider this, consider
Okay.
that. We will not take offense if you're keeping us straight.
Okay, likewise.
Okay.
No offense if you need to remind me of something.
Yeah, Angela's been really good at doing that. Danette, prior to you, was really good at doing that. I mean,
Hmm.
she would interject quite a bit, educate us, give us some background and context and things that oftentimes is helpful. So. Great.
Be around. I can, I'll still help Jennifer with whatever she needs. At least, she'll have the main focus, and then if she has any questions or anything, I'm not going anywhere.
So, just administratively, do you want us then to direct all of our email traffic to her and then just CC you for the time being
Let's do that.
until you're kind of complete transition? Okay, perfect. Any other members have any comments or questions for Ms. Bartov?
Just a welcome
Well, it's nice.
from a newbie
Yeah.
on the board to another newbie. Welcome and thank you for all that you're doing.
Same thing here. I'm not a newbie, but I want to say congratulations and we'll be looking forward to working with you.
Thank you, likewise.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that, let's move on to item number 8. So committee updates, and we didn't put it on here, updates, but / assignments, since we have a new year. I thought maybe what we could do is start by having a conversation, I guess, in terms of what members' interests are in terms of committee, that they want to continue serving on the same committees, or if they want to switch committees or add committees. So I thought maybe we can kind of just start there. And then from there, then we can go to the committee update. That sound all right?
Absolutely.
Um,
Does somebody have the list?
So I have the list right here in front of me. So we have 4 committees, as you all know. The Policy Practices Committee, Community Engagement Committee, Administration, Budget, and Personnel Committee, and the Annual Report Committee. So again, these are all detailed in the April 2025 committee charter that we adopted last year. So you can kind of read through about the role, responsibilities, and the functions of those. So right now, or last year, the committee members, I'll just go down the list here as I have them by board member. So we had Miss Mason was serving on policy practices, community engagement, and administration, budget, and personnel. That was the record I had. And correct me if if my records are wrong, by all means, feel free to speak up. Dr. Layden was serving on the community engagement and the administration, budget, and personnel. The chair was serving on the annual report committee and then assisting the other committees as needed. Mr. Stewart serving on policy and practices, administration, budget, and personnel. Ms. Strongen, the vice chair, was serving on policy practices committee as well as the annual report committee. And Mr. Wismer, who just left, was serving on the community engagement committee and the annual report committee. So those were the assignments based on volunteers. And that's, again, just a reminder, this is all sort of volunteer based. So nobody's forced to serve on a committee, but this is our way to help sort of focus the work of the SORB and to delegate certain things that the SORB wants to look at, to kind of have different committees focus in on those and then report back to the broader SORB. So anyway, so those are the committees. I'll just open it up to open conversation if members are content with serving on the same committees they're on, if they want to switch committees, so I'll just kind of open it up to the floor. Mr. Stewart.
I'd like to stay on the policy committee.
Okay.
And drop the administrative and budget since I'm picking up the annual report.
Okay. So Mr. Stewart will stay on policy and practices, drop off the admin, and you want to volunteer for the annual report? Okay.
The tradition.
All right. Okay. Dr. Layton, any comments, thoughts?
No change.
No change with, okay, so you want to remain on the 3 committees you're serving on?
No, 2.
Oh, 2. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Community engagement, administration, budget, personnel. My apologies. Ms. Mason, any thoughts?
I am gonna stay where I am right now. I think it's good
Okay.
balance.
Awesome. Mr. Walker, do you have any thoughts, interest in serving on any of the committees, sir?
Not at this point. My schedule as a director is completely full.
Okay. All right, not a problem. I will reach out to the other members of the committee or of the board who are not present today. I think it's mostly just Ms. Giacchi since Ms. Strungen's on her way out to see if she has an interest in serving, and then I'll update the committee assignment list and distribute that out to everybody so that you know who exactly is on which committee. And then you can coordinate whatever efforts you need to. So as the chair, I'll continue to serve on the annual report. And then, of course, I'm available to help and assist with any of the committees as you need. And if you have any questions about any of that, please let me know. Did you have a question, Dr. Layden? Sorry.
No.
No. Okay. All right. So with that, let's move on to our committee updates then. If we have any updates, I know we had some from Dr. Layden. But let's go down the list here. Any updates from Policy Practices Committee? Mr. Stewart? No? Okay. I think the last 2 meetings ago, the former Vice Chair Strongen gave an update to the board on our meeting with the sheriff, and a lot of that had come out of the Policy and Practices Committee and some of the work that they were doing. So appreciate them for that. Community engagement, anything on updates from there?
No, that was Mr. Wiz.
Mr. Wismer, okay. And then we'll go to annual report. Obviously, we got the annual report distributed. The presentation to the Bernalillo County Commission of the annual report will be Tuesday, January 27th at 5 p.m. And my apologies for not sending that out. I should have forwarded that out to an email. We just got that notice a couple of weeks ago. I think it was right before Christmas. Anyways, I'll try to be more mindful to be more timely in getting that out to you. But that is when the meeting is going to be, is January 27th at 5 p.m. And as practice has been, the chair presents the report to the commission. All the members of the board are welcome to attend. If you do attend, please try to find me, or at least let me know that you're there. So during my opening remarks or presentation, I'll want to acknowledge you and
You'll see us there.
recognize you. Yeah.
You'll see us.
So I'll do that. So if you're there, just plan on, having you stand and be recognized. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. Okay. And then with that, I'll turn the floor over to Dr. Layden, who I know had some updates on the admin, Personnel and Budget Committee, as well as the report that she had sent out via email. So Dr. Layden.
Thank you. Jim and Natalie participated in the list of questions and comments we developed. I didn't make copies for people. So Jennifer, I can leave this with you.
Okay.
We have a number of items. I'd like to ask Jim and Natalie which items they would like to address first.
For me, do we have an organizational chart on there? Organization of the sheriff's office.
I didn't put the chart on the list.
Okay, but did we talk about the organization structure of the sheriff's office?
Yes. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, I'd like to address that in the upcoming year. What we
Okay.
have right now, Jennifer, is a minute little org chart that you could just barely read on their website.
Right.
And I'd like to have a bigger picture of how they're structured, the chain
Okay.
of command.
For BCSO.
Okay, Natalie Ann? Do you have the list in front of you?
I do have the list in front of me.
Okay, good.
There's nothing in particular.
Okay. Two items I'll ask about. One is the number on the website of BCSO employees at 457, including 315 sworn officers. Are the remainder civilians, and are these figures accurate? And then a second item is BCSO hiring now? Burnco.gov says yes, and the sheriff's links at the BCSO website under recruiting regarding lateral transfers and rehires says yes, but the sheriff's application login is closed the last time we checked. So if you would pass along those two items, we would appreciate that.
Okay,
Thank you. And those are mine.
okay.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions? I had a couple of questions and things I'd like to discuss from the report, but I want to make sure that,
No, please go ahead.
okay.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Could I just segue from that for Jennifer's benefit? We collectively do not talk to the sheriff's office. We flow through the chair or the vice chair if he's not available. So early on, there were some random like shotguns.
Mhm.
So it's the members of the board and the sheriff's office, and we've really tried to pull back from that. So there's one voice speaking for the SOAR.
So it stays consistent.
Yeah. And so that we're not
Information.
inundating the sheriff with 18 different requests from 4 different members, that
Think so.
it's all sort of a coordinated requests.
And I have one other thought.
Yes, sir.
His preference is it all goes to him. And he'll disseminate it from there as appropriate.
So let me just first say thank you to the members of the committee for the work that you did, meeting the several times that you did, coming up with this list of things that you're interested in. And I appreciate that. So this is only, since this is relatively new in terms of the committees, we just created the committees in April of last year. And last year, we really only had one of the committee's work culminate in a request to the sheriff's office, and that was the policy and practices. And so in that instance, it was kind of a trial run. We kind of went back and forth with the committee to craft the language, the email, the request, right? That make sure that we were submitting the request to the sheriff that was encompassing, what the board was, what the board was interested in. So with that, I just wanted to have, a little bit of kind of discussion and just get some input from other members of the board. I guess mostly just Mr. Walker, since the other committee members are here. But if there are any other questions or input with regards to this list that we want to, and how the board might want to go about addressing some of these issues, what the board thinks might be the best avenue to do so. So that's kind of my thought process on this committee, but as well as the other committees that maybe we can talk about as well. I know community engagement was a big one that we talked about doing, perhaps meetings outside of this building, getting out into the various county buildings in the different area commands. So if we have time, maybe we can talk a little bit about that as well. But so for this report, so the items you mentioned, you also on there, some questions about the court security aides. The hiring is on there, the recovery unit, the website's updated. And then there's a reference of wanting to hear from the behavioral health unit again, and then a speaker from the union. So one of the things that I think we had talked about before in previous meetings on the behavioral health was perhaps hosting one of our SOAR meetings at the behavioral health facility. I forget where it's located, somewhere in the Heights or Nob Hills somewhere. So there was an
Are you
idea.
talking about the detox center?
I'm not sure. I just saw it driving by, but
It's Zuni. It's on Zuni.
Zuni could be
Burnco,
correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not associated with that.
right. So
It's the behavioral health unit of Bernalillo County
correct.
and not of BCSO.
Correct. But BCSO, my understanding is works closely with them. It was just an idea about if we wanted to do something off-site, at a different location to invite the BCSO behavioral health, and we can hear from the county behavioral health. We could see from their perspective how they work with the sheriff's office.
They don't.
They don't work at all, you don't think?
Not to mine. I was on a subcommittee for the behavioral health unit at the
Okay.
county for 4 years. To my knowledge, I never heard a reference to BCSO.
Okay. Well, from my perspective, and again, I'm just speaking as a member here, but
Michael Lucy.
that would be,
Is that the?
I would be interested if we have a county behavioral health and they're not working at all with the sheriff's office. I mean, that's kind of, I would wanna know a little bit
The
about that.
community. Why
Right.
don't you contact those people at the county? They work with the community.
okay. Well, the point is that would be a line of questioning that I would be interested to ask the sheriff as well, not just to hear from their behavioral health, but to hear about how their behavioral health is interacting with other elements of the government. Like ACS, I know is a recent announcement the sheriff said they have, so I'm sure that involves some behavioral health. So I'm just throwing out some ideas of how we can educate ourselves as a board to get a better grasp of what the sheriff's office is doing with regards to that particular topic. So, but we could certainly invite the behavioral health.
I think, is it
Person.
Michael Lucero?
I don't know, the BCSO person?
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not
the
sure.
behavioral health person.
Yeah. Well, so our request would go to the sheriff, and it's the sheriff's prerogative to invite or to bring whomever from his staff. So we wouldn't invite anyone from his staff directly. We would send the invitation to the sheriff, and if the sheriff wants to have that person come and speak to SORB, that's his prerogative. We can make the request.
Sorry, can I
Um,
interject a little before we move on?
Yes, please do.
To that point, even though they don't necessarily work together, is it wrong that we're trying to bridge that gap and make that step in connection? Because I am all for it. I understand that they don't necessarily work together, but isn't that what we're here for, to kind of bridge part of that if we can?
Okay, Natalie Ann, the sheriff is an independent elected official.
I understand
it-
that, and I understand
Okay.
that as somebody that reaches out to, like, our job is to, like, that's what we do. We're community, like, we're talking
We're the
about community
public.
we're talking about community engagement. Why not take that step?
You're welcome to propose that to the sheriff if you like. He
Okey-dokey.
mentioned at the last meeting that he's thinking of connecting BCSO with ACS, Albuquerque Community Safety. I think that's a great idea. And that to me is our link to behavioral health, not to the county's operation, which deals with nonprofits, which sets up services.
Well, so I appreciate that, Dr. Layden. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'd like to hear that from BCSO and perhaps from the county health person, what they do. To Ms. Mason's point is there any interactions? And if not, that's fine. Maybe there doesn't have to be. But again, it's just to help educate us on what the relations and what the different roles are and that kind of thing. And then the speaker from the union, again, we can make a request to the sheriff to have somebody from, I'm assuming they have a union.
Yes, the sheriff's deputies are unionized. They have been for over 50 years.
Okay, so I will put together a request to the sheriff, sort of encompassing these things. In the past, he's basically showed up and reported on them in person as opposed to providing things in writing. So don't know that he'll continue to do that, but just want to give you kind of a heads up on that we typically don't get a written response from him. It's usually a verbal when he comes to one of the meetings. So I suspect that'll probably be the case with a lot of these, but we'll certainly put forth the request.
Do what you want to.
All righty. From the other committees, the community engagement, those who volunteered to serve on that one, anyone have any thoughts on, doing some of our SORB meetings? And we haven't really talked about when they're going to be. That's next on the
I have.
last on the agenda.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
think we should be meeting sometime in the North Valley, South Valley, and the East Mountains, but not in the city. It's rare that city residents in the Northeast, I know you're probably in the county. You're in the county. But that's where the bulk of the population is that is served by BCSO. Now, the sheriff told us he's planning another listening session in the South Valley. We can wait for that, but maybe we can do something in the North Valley or the East Mountains. We need an East Mountain representative. I'm District 5. I guess I'm the one. Michael Wismer lived in the mountains and now he's gone. But that would be my suggestion, just the valleys and the East Mountains and not the two districts that are primarily city districts. I don't think we had an experience a year and a half ago with a meeting at the library at Unser Central and nobody came. Barbara Baca joined us. A few of us were there. but nobody came. And I'm afraid that's what will happen in the two city districts that are.
Do you
in it.
remember if that was a regular SWORD meeting or was it a special meeting?
That was a special meeting. It was meant to be a listening session like the one that was eventually held in the South Valley where 30 people attended.
Okay. Does anyone have any thoughts on having official SWORD meeting in the 3 different area commands? I think that was kind of one of the goals that we put in the committee charter for the community engagement, was to maybe coordinate hosting one of our SWORD meetings on each of the BCSO area commands, which is what Dr. Layden was just talking about. Not a listening session. We could certainly do a listening session like we did in the past, but I'm asking if other members think it's worthwhile to hold a meeting like this, our normal meeting, but have it done at, let's say, a fire station in the East Mountains or a library or some other county building. Do we think that we might be able to get, ideally, the hope would be that we'd maybe solicit more people to show up in person, whether they do or not. At least we're out there saying, hey, we're coming to you. We're not just telling you come to us.
My suggestion is a listening session for the residents to come and talk about the sheriff's office and not a SWORD meeting. I don't think you'll get any attendance. I don't think people will come to watch SWORD members. I think a listening session about their experiences with BCSO might be helpful.
Okay. Any other members have thoughts on that?
I do. I hear what you're saying. I do agree. I like the idea of a listening session and being out in the community, but to the chair's point, Matt, you're having a meeting like this just kind of out instead of at the county building, I think is beneficial, because it does bring us out of the element in the sense that it might be a quote unquote boring meeting where we're just kind of going over our basics, but at least we're stepping out again and we're letting them know, like, you don't have to just come to our building to see some of our boring meetings, or you don't have to be online. We're going to still come out to the community and have those meetings. So to what Matt's saying, we're still soliciting and putting ourselves out there. And I like that idea. I think it would be a good idea to maybe try to do that.
And there's nothing to say that we couldn't, I mean, we have public comment at our regular meetings, right? We have it every meeting, we have option for public comment. There's nothing to say that we couldn't incorporate a longer public comment period for that particular meeting in case we do get responses. So
You're not going to get a response.
we may not with a listening session either, right?
And they're not
You're right.
sending messages.
Right. They may
And
not.
And I think it's okay to say that we might not get it, but we won't know unless we try. We won't know unless we implement and try something.
Any other, Mr. Stewart?
Just maybe take a different perspective.
Yes, sir.
That us, we could drive anywhere and have our meeting. Doesn't have to be here. And I would like to do that because it allows us to be exposed to other parts of the county. I don't get to wander around the county as much as I did when I was a youngster. But if you scheduled a meeting for the East Mountains, that would be great. We could go see what's over there with the sheriff's office and what's going on. Get the area commander to maybe talk to us for 5 or 10 minutes about what happens over there.
Mhm.
And then listening sessions would be in addition to that. So if people would want to participate in a board meeting through the public comment, that's correct. But also we ought to at least try to do 2
Try to do
listening
both.
sessions. Yeah.
Um,
I'm willing to wander around and do different things.
Mr. Walker?
So be it.
I'm gonna have to go have a meeting to go to.
Oh, okay. I had a comment. Okay, thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we don't have a quorum.
Yeah, we didn't with Mr. Wismer, but we don't have any items to vote on, so we're just kind of having open dialogue here. But all right, well, so obviously there's different thoughts and opinions and views. The Community Engagement Committee, Ms. Mason, Dr. Layden, I think those are the only 2 on there. I'm happy to help with that as well. If you all, want to take, I don't know how you want to do that. If you want to try to coordinate.
To chair the Community Engagement Committee? Why don't you chair the Community Engagement Committee? I'm already a committee chair. Please, we don't have a choice.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, she'll chair it. And if
Have a-
you'll join us, that
So-
will give us a third person.
So just, I guess, just some thoughts. I think we've all kind of already talked about it. So I think the consensus, although maybe one or two may disagree, I think there's broader consensus that we should look to have a couple of SWORD meetings outside of the downtown area. So if you'd like to work with, I guess, Ms. Bartoff on scheduling where that might be. We did talk with Sheriff Allen about either doing one at the Public Safety Academy, or he suggested bringing them up to the Ops Center. Not necessarily, that one didn't have to be a SWORD meeting, but kind of a SWORD field trip. So that was kind of an idea of getting, out and having him do some demonstrations on some of the AI and the drones and stuff. But I'm guessing we'll probably heavily rely upon you, Ms. Bartoff, to help give ideas on which facilities would best be able to facilitate that kind of thing. So anyway, so yeah, I'll leave it to the committee to come up with maybe some ideas for our next meeting that we can kind of talk about some solid dates and plans going forward.
You have a comment.
Yes.
So I talked to the Public Safety Training Academy. They were working on getting the rooms. There's an issue with the equipment in some of the rooms. So they wanted to know how big of a room we would need.
A small room.
Yeah, just
So
for, I
then
would imagine just,
Room, they can accommodate us
Yeah.
now, if you wanted to do it there. There's also a conference room at our facility on the Public Works Campus, Building A.
where's that
on
at?
Broadway and Gibson?
2,400.
So it's not far from the
No.
Public Safety Academy.
No, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So you can also do it there. And then we'll start working to see if there's any other places, like we have the community centers. There's one in every area if
Yeah.
you want to use
Soul
those.
Valley.
What are
Senior center.
senior centers? Yeah.
But now we need Zoom capability.
Right, and that's where, yeah, they would be able to kind of make sure that the facility has that capability, and Public Safety Academy, I'm sure does.
Yes.
So how can let me just throw this out we'll talk about next meetings, but I think that's a good idea regardless of maybe the academy, and then, that could tie into, asking the sheriff about hiring and training and numbers and all that, because it's all sort of related, right? It's down there with the recruiting falls under the training academy there, so we can kind of kill two birds with one stone maybe there by inviting the sheriff to address those issues. So anyway, so I'll leave that to Ms. Bartoff to and the Community Engagement Committee to kind of come up with some ideas on locations for future meetings. So
And then I was just gonna ask, I know the website, the video that you did, and I know that you guys were working on putting more stuff out there. Now we have no communications person
Right.
anymore. Our person is really great, but she's gonna be going out on maternity leave in February. But what about having her record things and putting it out there, on social media and things like that? She's done an excellent job with the fire department. And so that's how they were able to get so many more recruits coming in, applicants for the academies.
Mhm.
I mean, how many did we have this last
454.
wow.
applicants this last time? So she's just done an amazing job getting the information out there. I think maybe you guys need to look at something like that.
I
To
think
get your name out there.
I think it's a great idea. I know we were working with the Esteban before he transitioned to another role, and we were talking about that in addition to the videos we created, but we're also talking about ways to advertise the SWORD via social media and other avenues, just to let people know, other than just the website. So I think that's a great idea. I do know, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, but Tia Bland's what's her title? She's Director of
She's the
Communication Services Division within the county. She has told me that she does plan to assign a communications specialist to succeed Mr. Esteban Vasquez. Yeah. And so I'm not sure if they have to hire somebody or there's a process, but I did ask her specifically if she planned on assigning communications liaison, and she did say yes. So I can follow up with her on that, but I would say in the interim, as long as it doesn't conflict with whatever internal county policies there are with regards to communications, we can certainly talk about, ideas and however you want to, publish stuff, I think is a good idea. So, anybody had other comments on that? No? Okay. All right, I think we covered committee stuff. On to item number 9 then. So I already mentioned the annual report presentation, January 27th at 5 PM. So let's talk about our the next meetings. We've been doing every other month, second Friday of the month. Is that consistency and frequency work for everybody?
I miss the monthly meetings. I don't know about Jim. And Natalie Ann is new. I miss the monthly meetings. I thought we did better when we saw each other more often and talked to each other more often. That's my thought. I'm willing to meet monthly again.
Me too. I like it.
Okay. Ms. Mason, do you have any thoughts?
No, I'm okay with meeting monthly. I think it would help.
Okay. All right. Well, then if there's, I guess there's nobody else in the meeting. So without objections, we'll go back to monthly meetings. I'm happy to do, whatever. My concern and what I limited experience from the time I was on the board monthly, I just often find we didn't have a lot of substantive things to talk about. So it was like coming
We
all the way,
still don't.
all the way downtown and it's like, you don't really have much to talk about. So the bi-monthly, kind of helped with that. Plus it gave a month off for the committees to do their work. So, but we'll go back to once a month and see how that goes. We can always change it, right? That's the beauty of, we can do what we want to do, whatever the pleasure of the board is. And it seems like the pleasure of the board's monthly at the time being. So that's what we'll do. All right. So with that, does the second Friday of the month work for everybody? That frequency works okay?
It's the 13th.
So then we're gonna be the 13th, February 13th. Any objections or conflicts or issues with that? That's Friday, by the way, that it matters, but Friday the 13th. I'm not superstitious, but others might be. All right, well then if there's no objections, and we'll do the Friday the 13th, and then thereafter we'll do every second Friday of the month.
And do you want that at the Public Safety Training Academy?
Maybe let's try to have our March meeting at the
Okay.
Public Safety Academy. That way it gives us a little bit more time to perhaps coordinate with the sheriff to see if he wants to do the demos and the presentation that we
Okay.
asked him to do. I think that gives us a little more planning time.
Okay, so here,
And so we could do here for the 13th and then we'll tentatively plan the Public Safety Academy in March.
Okay.
And then we'll rely on the community engagement.
You'll be in touch with him about?
Yes, yeah, I'll reach out to him with the
Thank you.
other follow-ups. All right, anything else? Any other last minute items of business that we missed or?
I was just gonna ask Jennifer. Jennifer, do we have a budget for lunch where you could buy us lunch?
With your credit card, sir.
I move we adjourn.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, second and third and fourth and fifth, all in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
All opposed? All right, meeting's adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Be well.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Hey, Burnco people,
Yes.
who's worried about getting us additional candidates for the SOAR?
we sent another.
We talked about it.
We sent the message out to Javier. He is what is this title anyway?
I don't even know.
Board liaison or
Yeah,
something?
something like that for the commission
Community
and
commission.
still don't have any.
So it's obviously something I'll highlight in my presentation
Yeah.
on the 27th. So my thought was I was